Welcome back. You're live with Expresso on a very feel-good, absolutely crazy Thursday morning. Someone who's used to our craziness by now, Fransa Katz, who has, I was just saying off camera, an unbelievable rapport with our dogs. Look at that. You are the Expresso dog whisperer. You've got them down. Now, of course, now this the summer silliness kicks in now. As much as that applies to work and trying to get the year wrapped up, it also applies to the body in a sense as we push ourselves maybe a little too hard trying to get summer fit, summer ready. The mind remembers what we could do a season ago, but sadly the body's not quite there.
Yeah.
That's where those niggly injuries start coming in, the strains and sprains. What exactly is a strain and what exactly is a sprain in terms of what the kind of damage we do to ourselves now when we kind of push ourselves a little too far?
When you talk about a sprain, that is when the ligaments that keep the bone in the joint, all the bones together, those ligaments are damaged or stretched too much. And when you talk about a strain, you talk about muscles and tendons that are the tendon that attaches the muscle to the bone. When you've sort of overstretched those muscles and tendons, then you talk about a strain. And that's basically the difference between the two. It's more just the anatomy of the bone and the body, but in both cases, it's where you've actually overstretched it, almost like you would take, just like a spring,
Sure.
You stretch it and it goes back. But because when you move, the muscles do stretch and the ligaments and the tendons. But when you've overstretched it, that's when you have a bit of a problem.
How do we treat it? I think most people out there, we want to know the easiest way of doing it, and we don't want to have our lives coming to a grinding halt every time we pick up one of these injuries, which is where we need to deal with our pharmacist. What is the quickest way to approach a sprain or strain injury?
If it's not a major injury where you can't even move that part of your body.
We're not talking about torn muscles and
then you would go to the doctor. But if it's
joints,
just a mild sprain or a strain, you can remember the word price and follow each year. The P would stand for preventing any more injury. So with that, you can use, say for instance, you've hurt your knee, you can get a knee brace at the pharmacy that you can put on. The second one, price R, is to rest that part of the body as much as you can to restrict movement. And then the I stands for ice. And ice is brilliant for getting down swelling.
It really is the wonder tool.
Absolutely.
It's always there. Yeah.
Don't put heat on it though. You want to cool it. So you use ice. You can ice that part of the body where you're injured. 20 minutes every hour to 2 hours for the first 48 hours.
Okay.
Very, very good to ice it.
Then C.
P-R-I-C. The C is for compression.
We hear that a lot lately. Everyone's got their compression socks and compression pants. Yeah.
That helps for the swelling as well. You can use an elastic bandage to strap it and compress the injury. And then the E is for elevation. We said rest it. So say it's a knee injury, try and rest it as much, but try and lift it higher than the heart. You need to elevate that part, which will help for the swelling as well. And then, of course, with the pain and inflammation that goes with it, you can get over-the-counter medication that will help, usually your anti-inflammatories, that will help for the inflammation that occurs around the injury, as well as bring down the swelling. There's also a lot of anti-inflammatory rubs and creams that you can actually rub in. Sometimes the muscles also are just stiff. You might not have injured yourself, but you haven't run for 4 months, and then suddenly you're going to do 5 kilometers the first morning, and then you're very stiff. So you get a lot of rubs and creams that you can actually massage into the skin. That will relieve that problem.
And also a little TLC goes a long way as well.
You can get somebody else to rub it in for you.
I think also the key here is prevention. We want to make sure that we are keeping our bodies nice and warm. The fitter and healthier you are, the less prone to injury you are. Make sure you are stretching before and after you exercise. And I know with my attention span, I often struggle to get in those sorts of things, but what a difference it makes. Fransa, thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
I'm hoping now that our G Sport team have taken some on board and not going to be injuring themselves going into summer. I know they're going to have our side splitting with laughter. They've been on fine form in recent weeks. G Sport team, what have you got on the menu today, guys?
By supporting the Flower Valley Conservation Trust, that's where we found goodness. Pick and Pay, always there for you.